back to my channel. My name is Shamika and this is Check the Rhymes. I am super excited that you're here. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Y'all, and make sure you get your merch because it's cute. Anyway, in the building today, y'all, I have Trina and Tamara. Y'all remember them from the 90s, you know, My Love is the Shh and some other songs. And their brother is Jesse Powell. So anyway, we're going to catch up, see what they're up to, talk about their self-titled debut album and about the book that they wrote together and see what they've been up to. And really, I want to get to the bottom of why they even broke up to begin with. So you don't want to miss this tea. Look, you don't want to miss this tea. Stay tuned. Welcome to Check the Rhymes, y'all. How are you?
We're good. Thank you for having us.
I kept saying I had to get you guys on here, and I'm so glad that we could make this happen.
Absolutely.
So how have y'all been holding up during the pandemic? Because I know everybody is having we're having similar experiences, but at the same time, there's some people that are, finding it as a way to just really glow up, and others are just like, I'm chilling.
I know for me, I have been tackling so many different things that I've always wanted to do. So it's been a little bit of a plus for me there. But I'm going to be honest, literally it hit me the other day. Like I was driving and I live in Las Vegas now. And I was like, you know what? I haven't even been to a buffet in a year. That's one of the things I love about Las Vegas. And it just hit me.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
The germaphobe in me just jumped out. A buffet?
Girl, that is everything in Las Vegas. You get their shrimp and lobster and crab for $3.
Classic Las Vegas. If you've been hitting Las Vegas for years, then you know the buffets is where it's at. Like after you've been gambling and drinking and having fun all night, you wake up and you go to the all you can eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and the champagne and all you can drink.
Yes.
Y'all can have that.
I can see how someone can miss that as a part of the pandemic. I will say for me, it was a little harder when it first happened. Like, I work, at the time it was happening, I worked in a firm that business management with clients that are like in entertainment and things like that. And just to see even the company stop and finances stop, right, that was shocking to me. But now, it's become our new normal, right? I feel used to it now. I miss the way things were before the pandemic. I really do. But I feel almost like adjusted now, fully adjusted.
Do you miss hanging out like with your friends and traveling? I
miss the travel part. I do miss happy hour because that is the happiest hour of the day.
You can have happy hour at your house.
I do miss calling my friends and be like, where are we hooking up at happy hour? I miss that part. But as far as like wearing masks, only getting my essentials and making the best of me being in the home all the time, I think I'm used to that.
Now, are you two able to visit each other, or how has that been? Because, being sisters, it's because I saw an interview, I think with Tia and Tamara, and they were saying how they hadn't been able to see each other except, over Zoom or something like that. So how have y'all handled that?
Honestly, we have seen each other quite a bit. Just for, getting together for family is very, very small, very, very safe. It's usually not even more than 5 of us, Tamara.
If that,
yeah. So we do see each other, but I think we had a little bit of a scare in our family with some members of our family had gotten, sick, and we were like, maybe we shouldn't have. Yeah, but I haven't seen my mom. I've seen her maybe twice. If Tamara maybe has seen her less than that, but
I'm gonna see my sister. I'll be like, they said the sun kill it, so we gonna meet and sit in the sun.
Right, we be in the sun
outside. But no, I think my sister and our bond is so close that even when we don't see each other, it doesn't feel like I haven't seen her.
Right.
I feel like I'm around her. because I
Right.
talk yeah.
All the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that brings up a great segue to the sister friend journey. You guys wrote a book a couple years ago, and we initially chatted about it, but I wanted to talk about it so the people that are watching Check the Rhymes can also check it out. What led you to create it? Neither one of you can answer.
What led us to create it? Well, to be honest with you, at the time, we were shooting a pilot for a reality TV show about our family. A lot of people know this who follow music, but some don't. Our older brother is Jesse Powell. He's an amazing vocalist. Mm-hmm. And at that time, there were a lot of 90s acts. When we were popular, it was a lot of 90s acts that had reality shows. So we were developing one of our own. And we were looking for things to branch off into just Trina and I, because most people know us from our music together.
Right.
And in the reality show, we had to dig up our history, and it wasn't always pretty. And because we couldn't tell the full story in the reality show, we thought, well, this would be good for us to have a book where we can talk a little bit more about everything we've gone through as sisters.
Right.
And we can spell it out, and also just be a testimony that you can overcome things in your sister journey. Because I hate to bring this up, but like, you know, it's challenging for women sometimes to be friends. Yes. And when you're sisters, it can have other challenges too. And then when you're a Black woman, it's just other things added on top of that. We wanted to show how we have been at the point where we weren't even speaking. And now, like, honestly, I could say every year, I feel like our relationship is stronger and stronger. So we just wanted to share that, as well as, you know, the music that we have. We wanted people to know what was behind the music.
Okay.
And on top of that, if I might join in, a lot of people would see our relationship, see us laughing, and they would be like, oh my gosh, you and your sister are so close. Like, I wish I had this relationship with my sister. And we just also wanted to show, like, listen, we have gone through it. We were not always like this. Right. We fell out really bad and we didn't speak. And we just wanted to show our friends and fans and, you know, people that follow us how we rebuilt our relationship.
Now, you know, I have to ask why y'all stopped speaking.
Why did we stop speaking? You know, I think that, and this was years ago, this had to be almost 20 years ago. So it was a long time ago. We were still young. We were still, you know, learning and navigating through relationships and, you know, trying to be in a group, a duo without a mediator, because it was just us two.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't be in a group with my sister. We'd be fighting.
You have to have. And it was just us, and we're very independent and we're very strong-willed, and we, you know, have our own thoughts, and it wasn't, we just didn't always see eye to eye. And I think on top of the business relationship, our personal relationship was also taking a hit.
Right.
Okay. And I think for me too, like in hindsight, being like a baby sister, I was young at that time. And I think sometimes the younger sister, you think you're fighting about one thing, but you're really fighting for equality and like leveling of respect. And I think I really was just trying to be like my own person. And I wanted to be respected as my own person. And I don't think she was disrespecting that. It just felt like that. You know, when you grow up and somebody's older than you, they're bigger than you, like everything, they're in front of you. Sometimes you start being like, well, I want to, you know, I want to be a top dog too. Like, I want to be respected. I don't think it was coming from her. I think it was my internal need to be seen as an equal individual person.
Gotcha. So is that what kind of led up to, you know, we only got one album out of y'all. Is that what happened after that? Like,
exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Now we have collaborated because we're songwriters. We were songwriters first.
Right.
So we've collaborated on many projects since the album and outside of the album and before the album. So we still did collaborate together. We toured together. We were part of, different bands together, different huge acts. We still did do that together. We just never went back in the studio and recorded an album together.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and a little bit about us as a group, we were not planning to be a duo. We were kind of like put together because the original song we did that we're most known for, which is My Love Is the Ish, that we were featured on with Something for the People. It was a demo. It was written for Adina Howard. They asked us to demo it. They kept the vocals and released it. So we were not a duo at the time. And then the song exploded. It sold 1 million records, and we got offered a record deal from Sony as a duo, and we kind of just jumped. Yeah. We jumped in, and you're bringing 2 individual solo acts and making them a group. And I think that was why we were butting heads too, because we hadn't planned to be a group.
Y'all were trying to be David Ruffin.
What you say?
We would be like, why don't you guys just be a group instead of you would be 2 solo acts, and we would be like, but we're so different. Like, don't look, but I mean, so when we, there were a lot of changes at our label, to be honest. It wasn't only because of the falling out.
Right.
We lost our record deal. And we just didn't go back to get another.
Gotcha.
So we left Sony. People were urging us to go get another record deal, and we were like, we were songwriters to begin with. Like,
we were like, do we like being in a group together?
Or should we leave it where it's at? We were like,
okay. Well, do you think that you guys will end up back in the studio? I mean, you have time to record, right? During the pandemic, y'all could, I mean, I'm just saying.
To be honest with you, I actually had a procedure about 1.5 years ago that really affected my voice.
Oh, wow.
And it has not recovered yet completely. And so I have turned down a lot of features that I've been asked to be a part of, and just like writing, because my voice is not where it once was.
Gotcha.
So probably not. If so, it will be a minute. Tamara, would you like to give me vocal lessons?
What I'm going to say is I'm not accepting what she's saying.
It's true.
Biggest fan, and I always have been. And I think that she's a perfectionist. And I think hands down, on her worst day, she sounds amazing to me. So,
Thank you,
I don't think she sounds like maybe what she's saying, but
I mean, I get it, because I was supposed to launch this show earlier in 2019, but I had sinus surgery and I still was very nasally and kept putting it off. And then finally it was almost like the universe threw something in my lap, and I was like, I got to turn the camera on and still sound like I'm stuffy. But I did it. And going back watching those now, I'm like, ooh.
Right. Yeah, it's just little inflections that probably only, but Tamara's right. I am a perfectionist, but it's sometimes even my husband be like, "Oh man," because he's a singer too, and he'll hear me, and he's like, "Oh wow, you okay?"
No.
Are you a Virgo?
Tamara's a Virgo. I'm an Aries.
Oh, okay, because I was like, I know us Virgos can be perfectionists.
Yes, Tamara's a Virgo.
I am.
Yeah, but Aries are really sensitive.
Huh?
Aries are really sensitive though. So if I don't be wanting to hear the critiques.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. It's challenging to be around amazing singers because her husband is amazing. And it's just, she probably does not sound how she feels.
Right.
But she's a perfectionist, and I was raised around. I don't think it's just Virgos. Virgos get a bad rap because when a Virgo starts Virgoing, you need to run. You know what I'm saying? It's not good, but I music is so different now.
Yeah.
The industry is different. You almost have to exist as your own label with the capital to make a big hit, like to make a dent is what I'm saying. You know, people don't buy music, and I don't want to sound that way, but it's like if it would have to be a passion project.
Right. Gotcha.
It would have to be a passion project. And because I still sing probably like every day, and I can't change my love for music, I'm not sure that I'm up for the new industry. I don't knock it. I love music where it is today, but I don't know. I would have to give it a lot of consideration.
Yeah, it has changed tremendously. It doesn't even, it actually saddens me, the state of R&B.
Actually, that's really one of the fan questions. So we'll come back to that. Okay. Well, actually, no, let's do it now. Let's go. We'll just jump into the fan segment and then we'll hop around. Okay. So somebody actually did write in and they wanted to know what you thought of the state of R&B, especially with the women.
Me personally, I love where music is right now. I love the new generation. I love how expressive they are. I love how confident they are. I love how it's no real formula. It's all just vibes. It's all just energy. So I do love that. Can it stand for improvement? If you're comparing it to the past, yes. But I think they've made the best with the tools that they have. And I love the way they're utilizing technology and just, I'm a fan. I like today's music. I feel like there's a lot out there that's great. You know, you have her, you have Jasmine Sullivan, you have what's the girl? Janae Aiko. You have what's the Ari Lennox. There's a lot of dope people out there. I love Lucky Day. I love Black. I mean, I like a lot of people. Right. So I actually like it. But does it compare to the 90s? No, that was a whole different vibe. That was a whole different energy.
I think what I'm saying more so is I do appreciate them. It's a lot of amazing artists. I feel sad that I don't think, like Tamara said, they necessarily get the recognition aside from people that really know music. Right. You know, sometimes I think I would love to see R&B be as much of a staple as it was. And it just seems that our society is not really interested. And that makes me sad. It feels like people that are doing it for the love, as opposed to, and you should do it for the love, but I'm just saying, right. It has just changed so much, and what society is expecting. So for me, that saddens me. That's that, because it's hard for R&B artists to break today. It really, it's not the same.
You can't need it for a come up. You got to already be up there.
Right.
You have to.
You know, back in the day, we were, not only did we love music, but we knew it was going to help us financially, right?
Yeah.
You need that already to even break ground. You can't need it. You're looking for a financial leveling up. Right. You already need that capital behind you for anybody to even really hear you.
Right. Yeah. I hear a lot of people saying that, and I've probably been one that says it too, that some of the artists that are out now, not the ones you guys named, but some of the artists, and I can't even think of their names right now, but they sing in cursive.
Not cursive.
You know what I'm talking about? Like they all have that same, I don't even know what to call it, but you can't understand what they're saying. They all have that same little tone. I should stop saying little tone, but they have that same tone, and it literally sounds like the lyrics are probably written in cursive, and that's how they sing it. I don't know, but
and I think some of that is vibe, like what Tamara says, and you could tell that they're really just vibing.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily, they're not focusing on beasting out per se, even though they can. They're just kind of like chilling and vibing, and I think that's where a lot of the difference is. And even for me as a singer, sometimes when I sing, I'm like, that's doing too much. They don't need to sing like that no more. Like they kind of just. They just kind of just get like,
there's hardly any harmony on the background vocals.
Yep.
Like, you know, back when we were doing it, it was stacked with 20 vocals in the back.
Right.
Like, it sounded like the Jackson 5 in the back. Like, it sounded like a whole group of people.
Quiet. Yep.
Let's see. The next fan question. If you were to do a versus, who would you go up against?
I know.
What you say?
Trina Tamara with changing faces.
I feel like there's a story there.
And,
I don't know. I think that if we did a versus, we would have to include a lot of our songwriting.
We don't have the catalog. Y'all know y'all setting us up.
Yes, we don't have a huge catalog. We would have to include our writing.
We had one. But that's what Babyface and Teddy Riley did. They dropped the songs that they produced. So that's what I would do. I would just drop songs that I was a part of and just like,
I was on this, I sang on this, I wrote this.
I'm not a one-hit wonder. In case you
and you know what? That drives me crazy when people call people one-hit wonders, unless they really genuinely were like a one-hit wonder. But like, people don't forget that they're, you know, people have songwriting credits, production credits, all, you know, other things, and they just go by what they know, I guess.
What they know. Yep.
I don't think we could do verses. I don't think we have the catalog. I'm not even gonna set myself up for that.
So who would you want to see doing verses? Like, is there a matchup that we haven't seen that you want to see?
I was thinking about this the other day. It's on the tip of my tongue. I would love to see. I think a lot of the people that I would wanted to see, they've kind of done them. Mm-hmm. I would honestly, though, I wish there was somebody who could do a versus with Chris Brown.
I do, but I don't think there's anyone that can compete with him, though.
No, I mean, and it's some great, like there's Usher, but it's just, he has just not stopped.
Right. Yeah. I'm thinking like, who could go up against Chris?
He hasn't stopped.
Right.
He's never to have his own radio station.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
His own genre. Like, you wouldn't run out of songs, really. You would have enough songs to go in rotation often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would like to see a band, though, like maybe Mint Condition against like, I don't want to say Tony, but I would love to see like a dope band versus.
Yeah, I would love to see a different genre, like NSYNC with what was their group?
Backstreet Boys.
The Backstreet Boys. That would be a good one.
That's a nice one. Yeah, I think that's a nice one. I think I would like to see a Jodeci against somebody.
Boys to Men.
Yeah, if you could get them to show up.
No.
They're like,
no.
Oh man. I would love to see like Genuine in a versus with, but I don't know with who.
Lloyd?
Did you say Lloyd?
No, ma'am.
I wouldn't even listen to Tamara. She's Lloyd.
I'm like, no, that don't go together.
She playing, she's playing.
No, I'm serious. Who sings? What's the Miguel and Lloyd?
Okay, I can see that.
Miguel and Lloyd is a good match.
Yeah,
that's a good matchup. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know, unless it was Genuine and Tank. I don't know who else would.
Yeah, or you can even do like, what about like Tyrese and Avant?
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I would like.
They definitely need to get Tyrese in there because just for the comedy alone,
the commentary and comedy.
Yeah. So someone wanted to know what is something about. I'm trying to think of how they worded it because I just wrote down the general idea, but something about you music-wise that nobody knows.
Well, I'm a classically trained singer, and I sing in Latin.
Oh.
I can sing in Latin, classical. I went to a performing, both Tamara and I went to a performing arts school, but Tamara was actually a drama major and not a vocal major. I was a vocal major, so I took the whole music theory. I studied in Latin, I studied classical, I studied the Messiah, Handel's Messiah. I sight read, I can, draw out my staff and write out the notes if I needed to. So
Wow.
I think that's one thing that people don't know about me.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I think for myself, two things. One is people are usually surprised when I tell them that I can't play any instruments. I can only sing. I don't play any instruments at all, and people find that surprising. Number two is I did not hone my skills in church. A lot of people think because we're Black singers that we honed our skills in church, and we really did. And people are like, "You didn't learn to sing in church?" No, my mom.
Okay, so Zoom just is telling me that we got 10 minutes. So, all right.
Okay.
So for the last fan question, and I was going to ask this anyway, they wanted to know, what is Jesse doing? Where is he at?
I literally just talked to him this morning, like by text, and he's in LA and he's just, enjoying life and enjoying the comfort of being able to just be and not have, be on the road. And he's done that and he loved it, but he's kind of just chilling.
I think it's a lot of people, they might not believe this and they find it hard to understand. But if you think about like the generation that Jesse is coming from, social media may not be attractive to some people. And I think, he was an adult when the internet came about and social media. And I just think he doesn't really like to be out there. But it doesn't mean like something's wrong. It just means that he doesn't care for it. So he's doing his thing, but you won't see him on Instagram or Facebook. It's funny because recently there was a thing I was doing in a social network setting, and people were so surprised to see that he was even there. They were like, "Oh my God, is that saying Jesse?" And yes, he was there. So it was like a shock to them that, oh my God, Jesse Powell is here, because you don't see him anywhere.
It was a shock to me, and that's my brother, because I know that he don't be on social media. I was like, "Is that Jesse?"
That's funny.
He's probably not going to do music anymore. He's like us, and he is blessed that he was very successful with the music he had, and those royalties have allowed him to live in comfort.
Well, tell him we said hi.
But he does always get a kick out of, like, for his birthday, I always post about it on Facebook, and it's like 500 comments and likes, and I always show him, and he's like, oh my God, like he's so grateful.
Oh, I love that.
Gracious about it. And I'm like, look, Jen, he's like, that's such and such from when we were little. And I'm like, yeah, all these people on here are saying happy birthday. So.
That's great. So what I guess since we're wrapping up, but what are you working on right now?
Well, myself, I actually am a jewelry designer. I own a jewelry brand that I've had for 8 years now. And it is called Addict Charmery. It has been featured in Essence, on BET, on Fox. I'll have, a nice clientele and customer base. So I do a lot of events. Oh, this is my, y'all talking about.
I was going to say, I saw your bracelets earlier.
These are just a few of them. And I do a lot of events for women based around the brand. So we'll have a lot of vendors come in. We travel to different cities. We've done events in Chicago and Maryland and DC and Mexico, Los Angeles, Las Vegas. And I also have a few other, brands that I do as well. But Addict Charmery is my baby.
Yes. And y'all, you need to get it, because I'm getting ready to get me a bracelet. So you need to get it.
Yes, you have to. I got you.
What about you?
I have to mute myself because I'm chilling on the back like in an outdoor space, but it's pretty loud. But for me, I have a travel business. It's a luxury travel business that curates itineraries internationally. We specialize in small, intimate groups, which I love. And that did take a hit in the pandemic. So it feels good to have it's up and running again, and people have adjusted to the traveling with COVID. So we're still doing that. I love my travel business, which is Lumi Luxury Travel. So check us out. And also, I am into investing now. So after I did music, I moved to the financial side of entertainment, and then that led me to investing. So I'm happy to say I'm a full-time investor now, and that feels really, really good. So I help people to invest their money in group economics, and it has been absolutely amazing.
I love that you two have been able to like pivot into other things. That's always, to me, I'm like the queen of 50,000 hustles, but I love when other people find another lane that they are excelling in. So my last
curated my retreat in Mexico for women, and it was amazing. Her company did everything, and I'm telling you, the women that went were floored, and we're actually working on another one for my brand as well. And I always go through Tamara's luxury travel brand first because it's amazing.
Okay, for my last question, and I ask every guest this question: what affirmation do you tell yourself daily just to motivate yourself?
You deserve it.
Oh, I like that one.
You deserve it.
I like that.
Thank you.
For me, mine is what's yours is yours. What is yours is your name on it, and it can never be taken from you.
I love those. I'm gonna have to add that to I love the affirmations, so I'm gonna have to add those to my list.
Yes.
And I like that because the reason why I felt like that hit home for me is in the era of social media, in the era of comparison. Yes. It is so easy to fall into the trap that, one, you're not doing enough, and that someone else has something more than yours and may have taken something from you. And I've had to remind myself, if it was yours, it cannot be taken. What's for you is for you. So keep doing you. And you will have what's yours. So, yeah.
I like that because I definitely can. I think that people do tend to see what other people have and compare them, compare. I do it too. I'm like, how'd they get that story? I wanted that story. How come I didn't get, so
Yeah. Also, I'm on Clubhouse, you guys. So I don't know if you guys are there. Are you on Clubhouse? Girl, come on, let's do a dope little room together, honey.
I'm team Android over here, so I can't. They won't let me in.
I am too. They did us so dirty with that Android Clubhouse app. I wanted to throw my phone. I was like, "What is this? Right? What is this?"
It's cool. You know what? I remember when Instagram first started, it was iPhone only, so I know it's going to be Android too.
But as soon as they let us in,
we in there. We in there.
Yeah.
I want to thank you both so much for stopping by Check the Rhymes. And I'll be sure to put the links to both of your businesses down below in the description section. Thank you.
And thanks for having us.
I'm so glad that you guys
love chatting with you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great one.
You too. Bye, Tamara. Bye, Shamika.